feel it, didn't you, Jimmy? You woke him up.
All the darkness, you can't give it away.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said, Christophe. It couldn't be possible. It couldn't be true. That man made the movie 20 years ago. He couldn't have made a sequel then. But he did. And we're here to talk about that today. Hi, welcome to the Bomb Squad Matinee. I am your host and master of ceremony for this evening, Joseph Henry Fredick, and today I have with me...
I am Tim M. Sullivan, no relation to Walter Sullivan, and I have returned to Silent Hill in search of my late wife.
Quit telling everyone I'm dead!
Sometimes I still hear her voice.
I'm Henry Mason.
Henry Mason?
Tanner Richard Kraft.
Any relation to Harry Mason?
I literally had it pulled up on Google. I was reading it, and I read it wrong.
Henry Mason. It's Harry Mason's father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate-in-law.
What's that make them?
They call me Harry Mason like the jar.
I have no fucking clue. Anyway, now that we've gotten all these Silent Hill references out of the way, if you couldn't tell by those, and if you can't tell by that blurry Heaven's Night neon sign I have lit up in the background there, we are returning to Silent Hill by talking about, well, Return to Silent Hill. But before we return to Silent Hill, we got a warm-up question to get through first. So this is going to be an interesting episode because I think it's safe to assume we're all kind of on varying spectrums of opinion on the movie.
Of autism, yeah.
Well, I mean, you and I think Tim, if I remember correctly, but
Yeah.
but you get the picture. You get the picture. It's it's kind of yeah. You fucking threw me off with that, Tanner. What the fuck? Anyway, in spirit of a movie that has split the opinions of the Bomb Squad, and in spirit of a movie that's being ripped to shreds by actual critics and internet critics alike, that's what our warm-up question is going to be in spirit of. Today's question is, what is a movie that, for the most part, I don't want to say everyone, but a vast majority of people disliked or hated? And to make this extra difficult for you guys, and I know folks have softened on the movie for the most part since, depending on which circles you're in.
Fucking news to me.
Again, depending on which circles you're in. You guys can't say The Last Jedi. So, that's low-hanging fruit. You can't say The Last Jedi. Based on that hand reaction, we're going to go with Tanner. What's a movie that you love that most other people didn't?
Paddington 2.
That doesn't count! That doesn't
you
count!
mean the movie that has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes? That one?
Paddington 2.
Oh, okay.
You can't see that one!
Paddington 2. That is not my answer, sorry. I just wanted to do that bit.
Paddington 2 was incredible. I fucking told you.
So this is an interesting question because it's not just an easy Wikipedia list, pull up, blah, 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 blah. And I'm also considering, contemporary reactions to these, or not contemporary, but modern reactions to these films. Like, if this was the 1990s, I could probably say a movie I actually just watched for the first time last night, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, which is an amazing movie that was not well received at the time by contemporary critics, but I think modern critics have mostly properly reevaluated that one. So there's no need for me to go, oh, but I think it's good. No need for that. The people have figured that out on their own, thankfully. So I went, oh, I have an easy cheat code. I'll go to my personal letterbox list of my all-time favorite movies and sort it by lowest average rating. So the lowest average rated movie on here on my all-time favorite movies list is 2024's Trap. We did a whole episode on that movie, though, so doesn't feel necessary. The next lowest movie on my all-time favorite movies list is Star Wars The Last Jedi. And then the third lowest rated one is Tron Legacy, which I don't feel the need to defend that one. We did a whole episode on it.
I really fucked you over on this episode, didn't I?
So I went to my, let's go to my letterbox stats and see what movies do I have higher rated on, that I rate higher than other movies on average. The best example of this movie I gave a 5-star rating to, has a letterbox rating of 2.04. That movie, also being a movie we've talked about on the podcast before, it is Wonder Woman 1984. So let's move on to the next one. The next lowest rated movie here that I rated 5 stars. That would be the movie Y2K, which I've already recorded the video on. So let's move on. The next one, we have not done a video on it. However, it's not my answer because it's The Room. That's not the correct answer.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Yeah.
Number 4 on this list, once again, Trap. Number 5 on this list is a movie I actually only gave 4.5 stars to. Once again, though, it's a movie we've covered on the podcast. It's Halloween Ends. Next up is, in fact, another movie I gave 5 stars to. I'm looking at it right now. Boys, you ain't gonna believe the shit I'm about to tell you. It is a movie we've covered before on the podcast. It is the movie Eternals. So next up after that is the movie not covered on the podcast. I've given 5 stars to, according to Letterboxd, and is the lowest rated movie I've given 5 stars to that isn't The Room, that we have not covered on the channel in any way. And that movie is not my answer, but I will tell you it is the 1983 movie Never Say Never Again. And the reason why that's not my answer is because I haven't watched it in over a decade. I don't remember what happens in it.
Tanner, I'll say this: if you gave that movie 5 stars 10 years ago, don't rewatch it now because that movie sucks.
Don't cloud my judgment.
Yeah. If you want to keep liking that movie, don't rewatch it. Just leave it as it is.
Next up on the list will be my answer.
Let's go.
It stars perhaps a Bomb Squad favorite actor. It came out in the movie 2002, and quite frankly, talking about it right now, I'm considering putting it on my all-time favorite movies list because it is one of my favorite movies by an actor whose work I adore. It was directed by a man named Stephen Brill, and that movie is technically a remake of a Jimmy Stewart movie, if memory serves me correctly. Joe probably knows what it is by now, because that movie is... Oh, you don't? Because it's Adam Sandler starring, Winona Ryder starring, the 2002 movie, Mr. Deeds.
Okay, there we go.
This has a 2.7 on Letterboxd. Isn't that fucking nuts? I feel like that's one of the better Adam Sandler movies from like the late 90s, early 2000s. Am I crazy?
I think it's pretty disliked by a lot of people.
I fucking love Mr. Deeds. It's funny. It's sweet. It has maybe some Sandlerisms that people don't like, but good God, 22 on Rotten Tomatoes, 24 on Metacritic. The Letterboxd rating is a 2.8. I don't get it. I fucking love this movie. I love Steve Buscemi and his crazy eyes. I like that he likes Oreos on pizza. I like that Mr. Deeds writes greeting cards. I like that John Turturro is playing a character of an indiscernible race. That's kind of funny.
Jesus Christ.
It's very of its era. I love Mr. Deeds so much. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a fun movie. I don't know. Deserves more credit. Also, love the like TMZ douchebag wannabe anchor that's like Winona Ryder's boss. Who's that actor? I don't remember who that actor is. I love his voice. What a douchebag. You know what I'm talking about? Who is that guy? Joe, help me.
I haven't seen Mr. Deeds in forever.
That's not true. I break into your house every day and put it on your television.
Sure you do.
Is it Peter Gallagher?
No, he's the guy that
Oh no,
wants
he's
billions.
the guy that's like, yeah. Well, who is it?
Jared Harris?
No. Oh, it is. Yeah, him. I like him. Back to you,
I
Joe.
like him too. He's a good actor. Fascinating pick, Mr. Kraft.
It's a very
Tim.
neat pick.
Tim, you think you can top Tanner's little running bit there?
Probably not, but here we go. So I do want to address the like caveat of no, The Last Jedi. I do think more people like that movie than dislike it. It's just that the people who dislike it are very loud about their opinion.
They really don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them for valid reasons, I will admit.
It's
not many of them, but
It's
some
not
of them.
like it's not inscrutable. It's not like without reason to criticize, but the people who dislike it tend to be very loud about their opinion of disliking it. But that kind of leads into like why this was a tricky question for me, because like I do think like I've certainly loved movies that have had a lot of criticisms and a lot of haters, but I feel like a lot of those movies that I'm like really passionate about are movies that do have, you know, groups of passionate fans who do love it. Like, I didn't want to say something like Skinamarink or The Outwaters or Beau is Afraid, because I have talked to many people who do love those movies. Not anybody in this chat, but people. And I didn't want to say something like Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace, because that's just not an interesting answer. I'd basically just be saying my favorite part of this movie is it came out when I was 6 years old. So, I did a similar thing.
That's my favorite part too.
Yeah, exactly. Except you were 1 year old. But I did a similar thing to what Tanner did. I got on my Letterboxd and looked at like the films I've seen and like sorted it by liked and average rating, lowest first. Just kind of scrolled through that, and I think after looking through that list, I decided that the movie I'm gonna defend here is the 2011 prequel to The Thing. Now, I will say, The Thing from Another World is like a very important and very good classic, like old, early horror movie. John Carpenter's The Thing is one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Does the 2011 The Thing live up to those movies? No, absolutely it doesn't. Do I wish I could see the version of that movie that has the finished practical effects as intended? Yes, absolutely I do. Do I still think that what we have is a decent, like, modern sci-fi horror movie that's worth watching? I think so. I watched it again when we did the recording for John Carpenter's The Thing, because I hadn't seen it in a while, and I still enjoyed it on that viewing. Like, it definitely has issues, but I think it's still overall an entertaining movie. And although I do wish it wasn't covered with CGI, I think the CGI that's there looks pretty good because it's covering like existing practical effects. Yeah, that's just my take. I think 2011 The Thing is better than it gets credit for. It's not a perfect movie, it's not a perfect prequel, but it's still pretty decent. So that's my pick. Back to you, Joe.
That is actually a really good pick. That's another one it hasn't gotten quite there yet, but that's definitely another one that is like slowly starting to get a little bit more of a revaluation, and everyone's kind of slowly getting to that page where it was like, it's not terrible, but it's better than what we thought it was. I particularly thought it was good. For the most part, I have that movie on my shelf somewhere. But my time to shine. So, I'm gonna pull a minor Tanner on this one. And when I say minor, I mean I'm not gonna go as long as he did. But I have a whole list here. Because initially my answer to this was going to be Jurassic Park 3. Because that is one of those movies that people don't like, but I will defend to the end, baby. But we are doing the entire Jurassic Park trilogy later this year on the show. I think I'm gonna save it for that. So, Jurassic Park 3 out of the question. What else can I do? Fitting to the movie today that we're talking about, Silent Hill, the 2006 film. However, that movie, kind of like Fire Walk with Me, is also getting revaluated, and people are starting to realize, oh, this is actually kind of good. And we also covered it on the show. So, technically, that doesn't count for this. So we're gonna just crumple that idea up, throw it in the trash. And then I got to my third pick, which was initially going to be Tank Girl, a movie we have not covered on the show, and a movie that would count for this question. But at the end of the day, I ultimately asked myself, is there anything that I felt stronger about than Tank Girl? And yeah, there absolutely was, so Tank Girl is not my pick. My pick for this answer, and I don't think Tanner has seen this. I know Tim saw this fairly recently. Tim's gonna fucking think I'm crazy. But my pick for this question, my answer for this question is Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. Now, can I see where there are horrendous issues? Abso-fucking-lutely I can. That movie is not perfect. In fact, that movie is a fucking mess a lot of the time. With that said, I was kind of just, when I watched it, I was absolutely enamored with it. Here, I'm gonna do this. I haven't done this in a second. Megalopolis, there it is. I'm gonna pull up my Letterboxd review, baby. My 4.5 star Megalopolis review. Here's what I had to say about the movie. Megalopolis. Very complicated movie, but I ultimately feel strong towards. This movie is an anomaly. It has strong, intelligent, and interesting ideas at its core, but also pedestrian, simple-minded, and not very well thought-out ideas as well. It is a beautiful painting thrust upon the canvas, but at times kind of ugly. It's ambitious, yet it plays it safe. The actors give it their all and make the world look and feel believable, yet also look horribly confused as to what they are saying out loud. It's sophisticated and dignified, yet vulgar, rude, and stupid. It's bold and it's brash, and at other points, it belongs in the trash. It is cohesive yet incoherent. It is a work of art, but also a giant mess, and I loved every second of this. So, as you can see, a movie that just gives me a lot of complicated feelings. I can admit is absolutely flawed, but I just love that movie to bits, man.
John Voight's boner arrow was funny.
If anything, that's the biggest takeaway is it gave us like that meme. It also gave us entitles me, yes. Entitles me, yes. Entitles me, yes. Go back to the club.
Go back to the club. He says it like with a slight R. I have to say, it's very fit. That movie feels very fitting now, apparently, with that video going around of Shia LaBeouf getting his shit kicked in at Mardi Gras.
Oh, yeah, that's right!
I saw the video at work today. Every time he tries to get up, they just push him back down like, hey, man, stop trying to start a fight.
What an asshole. He's a particularly slimy scumbag in the movie as well. Also, I guess he and Mia Goth have been separated for like a year now. Somewhere out there, an ex.
Yeah, I saw that. Apparently, they quietly broke up, which, no way, nothing about that fucking breakup was quiet.
Yeah. Anyway, Megalopolis is my answer to this question. If we weren't talking about it today, would Return to Silent Hill be my answer to this question? Well, we will find out. We're just gonna get right into all the various feelings we have here. Tim, we're gonna start with you, buddy.
So, yeah, I was on the bonus cast we did on the first Silent Hill movie back in year one. And at that point, I hadn't really experienced anything Silent Hill. I played a little bit of Shattered Memories, but hadn't really gotten too far into it. But overall enjoyed the movie. Since then, I've seen that movie at least one more time, because I saw it when the theater was playing it in 35mm, which that was cool. I also watched Revelation 3D with my buddy Devin. We basically were just talking over the entire movie, just roasting it.
Despite my insistence that you just skip it.
It was just, we were just hanging out. We were just like, fuck it, let's just throw this on. Yeah, this movie sucks. But watch that, and then for the true homework, I got the PlayStation 5 remake of Silent Hill 2 and played that all the way through. And I got 2 of the endings because I actually made a save file after a second save file after the Eddie fight, so I was able to just like do Lakeview Hotel again. So I did the Maria ending and the In Water ending prior to this recording. I just did the first one. I just did Maria before watching the movie for the first time, and so yeah, I had all of that going in the movie, and my take on it is I think the game that it's based on is so important and iconic and prolific that it set like an insurmountable bar for an adaptation to clear. And so there are definitely issues with the adaptation. I enjoyed it more than I think most people did, though. Like I could appreciate like one thing I did really enjoy was anytime they did the otherworld stuff. I thought like that looked pretty cool. I enjoyed the morphing world there, and like it's kind of like it's a lot of CGI, but for something of the scale of Silent Hill, that's kind of necessary. Like there's a lot of CGI in the first movie, but I think they're doing interesting things with it. I know you are going to be cooking a lot on the diversions from the story it's adapting. So I'm gonna let you cook. I think it does make some really strange choices, but I was still able to overall enjoy it. Like the whole thing with Mary being in the cult. I don't know where they were going with that. I will comment on the cast a little bit because I don't want to say anything mean about the actors, but I do think the actor they cast to play James is just not right for the part. He's too spry. He feels too young, even if he probably is around the same age James is supposed to be in the game. He's giving early seasons of Supernatural Jared Padalecki, and I can't see past that, unfortunately.
Well, now that you bring that up, I can't unsee that. Holy shit!
I do want to give some flowers to Hannah Emily Anderson. Just want to make sure I had her name right. Because she is pulling quadruple duty. Because she plays Mary, and she plays Moth Mary, which I feel like that shouldn't be a separate credit, whatever, though. And then obviously she plays Maria, but she also plays Angela. And I think the fact that she was able to nail all of those variations of the Mary character and then also Angela is really impressive. Like, as soon as I saw Angela on the screen, I was like, oh, yeah, that's fucking Angela right there. I think she is doing great work in this movie. And then I do have to comment on Eddie, and I don't think it's a problem with the actor. I think the movie just kind of wastes that character. They give him like 6 minutes of screen time and then he just fucks off. But in the game, he really becomes a fucking thorn in your ass. And I kind of wish we got to see more of that in this. Overall, it's definitely a mixed bag. Maybe time will be kind to it. We can't say for certain now, but I liked it. I liked it fine. I'm excited to hear what Joe has to say about it. But first, we're gonna hear what Tanner has to say about it. So back to you, Joe.
Oh boy, are we ever! And some points that you brought up, I will probably bring up either in my section or in general discussion, because I have some takes. But before we get to that, I'm pretty sure this man is on just kind of the general wavelength of everyone else. All right, Tanner, buddy, let it out.
I'd like to start by saying something nice. I agree with Tim. I think that if any part of this movie is being done well, I think one, casting Hannah Emily Anderson in the first place was a smart decision. I think she's a talented actress. She is a very good part of another horror movie I dislike, the 2017 Jigsaw movie, which is, in my opinion, the worst Saw movie. She is one of the better parts of it as one of the main characters. She delivers the line, "Jig fucking Saw," very funnily. That movie didn't have a great script, but she did the best she could with it, and she was definitely one of the better parts of that movie. And here she is by far the standout in a quadruple role, well, more of a 3 role, but I think she does a good job of making each character feel distinct from one another. Makes the movie very interesting. She has a lot of talent, and I thought it was really great, her performance.
Is that your one nice thing?
That's the only thing this movie does well.
Rip it up,
actually, buddy. You know what? That's not right. I'm sorry. That's the only thing this movie does competently. Where do I begin? CGI, really bad for the most part. It gets better as the movie goes on, but there are some early shots where I can't believe, I don't understand why Konami or whatever the production company behind this, other than Konami that funded it, didn't put more money into the VFX, or maybe allowed the director maybe a little more time to work with it practically, because I know there was CGI in that first Silent Hill movie, but I do also remember there being some practical effects work and some makeup in that one that I notice is lacking here. I will also say that I'm very confident that first Silent Hill movie and also Revelations have more of a budget than this movie does. Still. I agree with Tim. I think the lead actor, Jeremy Irvine, who I do not think is a bad actor, really. I have seen him in other things. Most notably, he's in the second Mamma Mia movie. I think
he's young Pierce Brosnan.
That's right, and he is very good in that movie, I think. He's not the standout younger character in that movie, but I do think he is quite good in it. He has a bit part in Warhorse. If he's the character I think he was, I remember thinking he did a good job there. So I do not necessarily blame him for what doesn't work here, which I do want to say, Tim, it's funny you bring up the age. I also sort of got the impression that he was too old, even though he's only 35.
I thought he was too young
that actually,
for the role.
Or did I say old? I meant young.
Yeah.
I meant young.
Yeah, he is like...
I agreed with what you were saying.
He is like 3 years older than me, though, which is crazy.
Yeah, but he does feel like the correct age. Like, I read the age 35. That is probably what I would ballpark James at in the game.
See, this thing is millennial 35 is different than Gen X 35.
Correct. But the real reason I think he feels too young is one of the 5 trillion things this thing changed from the game for the worst. In the game, James goes back to Silent Hill because he gets a letter from his wife.
Yeah.
From his wife. For some inexplicable fucking reason, they turned it from his wife to his sorta on again, off again, doesn't seem like they dated for all that long, girlfriend.
Yeah.
It robs that relationship of a lot of its power. It's a very bizarre decision. I was talking to Joe after the movie, and I also said, I don't remember the cult being a part of Silent Hill 2, to which he told me, because it wasn't. That felt like a weird decision that just needlessly added bloat and convoluted the plot in ways that was completely unnecessary, especially considering Konami's, I believe it was under 2-hour runtime requirement. Very bizarre decision to then just add plot to a game that's already pretty complex and you're under a tight wire because of a runtime mandate. Whatever. I think this sort of ties into the effects. I think the set design is kind of weak and ineffectual, which is frustrating considering I think all the area design in the game is all really impressive, especially considering the limited hardware they had to work with. Really what it comes down to is I think a lot of the changes made to the plot of the movie from the game are for the worse, because usually when you adapt a video game to a movie, you actually take away plot lines. Games are a lot longer than movies. Your average, I remember back in the day, 2011, I think it was, or 2010, when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out and the campaign was considered very short. There are games with shorter campaigns now, but Modern Warfare 2 considered to have a very short campaign. The campaign of that game was 6 hours long. That is still 3 times as long as what the average movie coming out in theaters is nowadays.
Yeah.
So games are inherently a longer medium. So you think it would cut out plot lines, but sure, it does maybe cut out a few subplots, but it supplants that with more convolution, more plot, more everything that is wholly unnecessary, and again, just seeks to convolute and complicate the plot for no good reason. I think Jeremy Irvine and Hannah Emily Anderson have negative chemistry. Again, maybe that comes down to Jeremy Irvine being miscast. Like I said, I think he's a talented actor. I have seen him do good work. I do not blame him, per se. It just feels like he's miscast. A lot of his line delivery, I think he's trying to go for the flat affect of the game, and I just don't think it works in the movie. But if we're going to talk about my problems with changes made from the game, all right, here's what the movie does. It pretty seamlessly executes the in-water ending, right? Where, James gets in the car and he just drowns himself in a lake, right? That's more or less, from what I remember, the in-water ending of the game. That is more or less what I remember. And that seems like a pretty faithful adaptation, which seems right to me. I feel like that's the most common ending to get when you play Silent Hill 2. At least the original. I can't speak for the remake. So they do that.
Yeah, and yes, it's also, I'd say, just the more widely beloved ending of Silent Hill 2.
Not to me. For me, the best ending in Silent Hill 2 is the dog one. And I will say it right now, if this movie did the dog ending from Silent Hill 2, 5 stars. You hear that? 5 stars. All problems with the movie would be instantly forgiven if they had the balls to end the movie with the fucking dog in the control room ending. Immediately, all my problems would go away because I'd be like, you know what? They did that shit. God bless. Especially if Jeremy Irvine just walks in the room like, you? How?
And like in the game, he just randomly starts speaking Japanese all of a sudden.
Yes, again, you're on the same page. Again, fixes every problem with the movie. I will say that this movie does take a quote-unquote bold swing with the ending, in the sense that after perfectly executing the bitter, sad ending of the game, decides to do a thing where James is suddenly thrusted back in time to when he first met Maria, and is like, or Mary, whatever her fucking name is, I can't remember.
Mary?
Mary? I knew that. I don't know. Listen, it's not my fault that they did Maria Mary. That confuses me. Anyway, decided to fucking be like, actually, this time he does things right, and is like, actually, what if I drive you to wherever the fuck it is you're trying to go? Instead of walking down to the city with you. Which, by the way, still don't understand how they got across the lake at the beginning of the movie, considering there's a giant lake between them and the hotel. Don't entirely understand how that worked. Not the point. The happy ending...
I have an answer to that question.
It's called
going
swimming.
around. It's called going around.
They swam. They did the in-water ending. This is actually the 5th time James has drowned in the plot of the movie. He just keeps getting sent back every time he drowns. He has a weird superpower where he gets to reset his life after drowning.
See, but this goes into my take on the ending, which is that he gets a new game plus. That's how the movie ends. He gets his new game plus.
It's so weird to be like, have this whole thing, which by the way, the whole therapy thing that like grounded the plot was also just a very weird, unnecessary addition. Didn't get that at all, especially since like for the first half of therapist scene, she's only shown exclusively in some weird prism shot. Don't know what that shit was. Looks stupid, I'm gonna be honest. Was confusing. I hated the ending. I was maybe gonna give the movie a 2 out of 5, maybe even a 2.5 out of 5 if I was feeling nice. But that ending pissed me off so badly after they did. Again, I thought the final few minutes right before it cut to the actually happy ending bullshit were pretty well done. I thought Christophe Gans was bringing it home. I thought, all right, it's been a rough flight, but he's landing the plane. And then he crashed the plane into the Twin Towers with that ending. That's why this movie sucks. Back to you, Joe.
Well, I'll say this, Tanner, to defend Christophe
I know it was
Gans.
Konami's fault.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, give Christophe Gans a bit of the benefit of the doubt. He knew to end it on the note that he wanted it to end on and not tag that ending on.
I mean, it's so obvious because, like, the in-water ending is complete. It's fully done. And then all of a sudden it's like, 3 more minutes.
Alright, now that my cat's off my fucking desk, I love you, but I'm doing something. Anyway, it's my time to shine. I couldn't fucking hate this movie. I really couldn't. I'm sorry, guys. I went out of my way. You have to understand, and there's probably a lot of passionate fans out there that fucking hated this movie too. I am a passionate Silent Hill fan. Silent Hill 2 is maybe the most important video game ever made to me. I love that game to the bitter end. I love that franchise to the bitter end. I love all of its faults. Well, maybe not all of its faults. That Revelations movie and that HD remake is bad. I'm willing to forgive a lot of faults because that franchise has given me so much and yet so little.
Joe's a big pachinko guy.
I'll to quote Nicolas Cage, I love pachinko!
Pachinko is pretty fun.
So, I am going into this as a massive, massive fan of Silent Hill 2. But I'm also going into it as someone who loves movies, has made movies, who understands the art of adaptation, and also as someone who has, like, really grown to fucking love the first Silent Hill movie. Because when we did that initial bonus cast, I was kind of... I don't necessarily want to say lukewarm. I was relatively positive on it, but I remembered I described that movie as the haunted house version of what Silent Hill is, and I still kind of sort of stand by that, but only kind of sort of. I've kind of lessened my thoughts on that. I think it's, especially for like entry level people, it's a solid way to get into Silent Hill. Honestly, for the longest time, that was probably the most accessible way to get into Silent Hill. Mm-hmm. Because have you been on eBay? Have you seen how expensive those games are now? Yeah, for a while, the first movie was like the easiest way to get into Silent Hill. And just kind of knowing like how Christophe Gans approached that first movie, where he's very clearly got a template, but he's also a huge fan of the game, and he incorporates like all of this other stuff from other Silent Hill games in that first movie. Because Pyramid Head's not in the fucking first game. The nurses aren't in the... Well, there are nurses, but they're not the fucking Bubblehead nurses. There's shit from Silent Hill 3 in there. There's a lot of stuff that was not in that first Silent Hill game that's in that first Silent Hill movie. So I went into the movie with a bit of a different mindset. And I initially watched it, and I really liked it. I've seen this movie fucking 4 times now. 3 times in the Big Show, and then 1 time at Ronnie's, and that was by far the worst time that I watched it. Love you, Tanner, and it wasn't actually your fault. It was those fuckers that like would make noise every so often to my left. Why'd you have to fucking move, you asshole?
Dave decided to buy the seats that were right next to me, even though they had enough room to put a buffer seat between us. I don't like sitting next to people I don't know if I can help it.
You fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point being, after having seen it 4 times, after having dissected it, tried to get a feeling on it, I still like it. I'm sorry. I fucking like it. I have my negative points. And to be fair, while what Christophe Gans added in the first movie from other games worked there in the first game, or not the first game, the first movie, adding the cults to this movie, when it wasn't there in Silent Hill 2, I absolutely think that was a change for the worse, because it really doesn't add anything. I mean, if anything, it gives Mary significantly less agency. Unfortunately, not that she had much to begin with in the game. She didn't have too much agency in what happened to her. But it weirdly gives her less agency here, adding the cult. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that, and I try to think of all of that from Christophe Gans' point of view, where it's like, oh, it's a Silent Hill game, and it's a Silent Hill thing. One of the most famous things about Silent Hill is the cult. We gotta have the cult. You didn't need to have the cult for this one, Christophe. You could have gotten rid of that. And I'll get into a positive after I bring up this point, but I gotta bring up, maybe not the biggest meme, but it's one of the big memes to have come out of this movie. Speaking of Mary, the big reveal. Mary, Angela, Laura Crane. Which, first off, Crane is not even a character in the fucking games. That's an invention of the movie. I think that middle name really does not... I don't think it works at all. I think the idea of Mary, Maria, Angela, and Laura all being, like, the spirit of, like, one character, I think it's a good idea, and it's very in tune with the series. And even to the credit of, yeah, fucking having Angela there is a choice, but they still adapt Angela as a character pretty faithfully. Like, when that fucking abstract daddy scene happens, it's still fucking effective, and without even really saying anything, yeah, no, you fucking get what they mean by this. And it's very much like it is in the game still, so...
I will say, just going back to the, like, Mary, Angela, Laura Crane thing, like, it's not a great film decision, but it is some video game ass shit, so I'll give them some points for that.
Yeah. They find a way to at least make it work for the most part. There's just things that fucking middle name is very stupid.
Boy, is it.
But, As we've all been praising, you guys have been praising her. I've also got to fucking praise Hannah Elizabeth Anderson. She is the standout actor of this, as she honestly nails the essence of every character that she has to play in this, and that is her under makeup for Moth Mary, which is pretty fucking good makeup. I will kind of jump on the same thing that you guys have said about Jeremy Irving as James, but I will defend him like slightly more, only slightly. I do think he is miscast. My big issue with him as James is he's a little too likable. You're not really supposed to like James that much, considering what he did.
Yeah.
The way that Jeremy Irving plays James in this, it's a little too likable, but for the material he's given, he's doing an okay job. Honestly, the scenes where he is just like, specifically, it's like I'm thinking of like the two scenes he has with Laura, where it's like he is very like clearly on edge, and there's like he's like talking very intensely to her. Like when he goes a little bit crazy, it's actually kind of fun, and that feels more in line with James to me. The not very likable James. So I'll defend him a little bit there, but I do think he is kind of miscast in this. I will also defend Evie Templeton as Laura, reprising her character as Laura, because she played Laura in the games. And she's fucking great in the game. She kind of plays a different character in this entirely, but she still gets that essence of Laura, who is, let's be real, a really fucking bratty-ass character.
Yeah.
Like, you wind up feeling for her in the end, but yeah, she's a fucking brat. And I think Evie Templeton still does a solid job. I love the monster makeup in this. Unlike Tanner, I actually really like the set design of this. For the $22 million that they had for a budget, you could clearly tell where they put the money, which was into that makeup and to those sets. Tanner looks shocked.
That is easily twice as much as I would have guessed.
Twice as much?
God, they did not spend that money well at all then. This looks so cheap. I can't believe this cost as much as $22 million. I thought $10 million tops, honestly.
Tanner, I'm gonna do the opposite of what I told Tim. Watch Silent Hill Revelation. That looks like a crappy haunted house.
Oh,
that
I'm aware of what Silent Hill... Listen, compare most movies to Silent Hill Revelations. Yeah, you'll like it.
Yeah, fucking Silent Hill like, you want to talk about the haunted house version of Silent Hill. Silent Hill Revelation literally is a fucking haunted house. Like, they did not fucking spend money on that, on the production design of that.
Boy, was it 3D.
Yeah, it was 3D, alright. But I like the production design of this. It felt Silent Hill to me. I want to get into some more thoughts, but I've been kind of rambling in the general thoughts. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll get back to more Silent Hill discussions. But yeah, see you in a bit.
Oh.
Oh.
Mamma mia.
Alright, and we're back. Movies, colors, canvas, art. You like it? Moviepalette.com. Tim, Mandy, Tanner, Punch Drunk Love. Silent Hill, you can get. Other movies you can get. Moviepalette.com. Squad 15. Put in at checkout. Save 15% on your order. Movie Palette good. Back to show. Alright. Do we even fucking mention the beard?
I thought that was what you were going into when you were talking about the meme, so that's why I did this.
That is so goddamn funny. That shit is so funny. I'm sorry. I saw that thing on Twitter and I literally had to message Joe and ask him, is this real? Because I could not believe what I was seeing. You know where the $23 million didn't go? The makeup. I'll tell you that much.
Let me be clear. When I say the makeup, I mean the monster.
Let me be clear.
I mean the monster makeup. And let's be real. The fucking... Yeah, it's the monster makeup. And then those animatronic bug things, which I fucking like. I like that those things were animatronic for a shot. I love me some rubber monsters, but...
The fucking, like, lesions
let me be rubber.
On Eddie were pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, which... Here's where I am going to quote-unquote defend the beard a little bit.
Oh boy.
I'm not saying that it looks good, but when I initially watched it, I thought it was a dumb decision to have the beard. But then I started to kind of, like, upon subsequent rewatches, I've kind of started to develop a bit of a theory. And knowing that Christophe Gans is a fan of the games, I'm pretty sure he has heard of this. Part of me wonders if this is his kind of play on loop theory. So if you don't know what loop theory is, essentially loop theory is the events of Silent Hill 2. Everyone in the game is basically on a continuous loop. This is, I think, all at this point a fan theory. I don't think it's been confirmed by Konami. I know it's been played with in the remake, which is just put further fuel to that fire. Honestly, I think it's fans trying to excuse game limitations. Because there'll be, like, corpses that look identical to the James model throughout the game that you see, that are just kind of, like, obscured, and, like, other characters appear as, like, obscured corpses you come across. I wonder if... And I haven't listened to the audiobook for the movie novelization that has all of the scenes that were cut from the movie that featured Eddie. Part of me wonders if Eddie is just another... essentially a James variant, who's been going through this loop over and over again, or if it's like James's psyche also being split along with Mary's. Honestly, the ending kind of also throws fuel to the fire of loop theory, where he just fucking restarts from the beginning. It's all a theory, and I'm pretty sure once that director's cut comes out, and whenever I actually read the movie novelization, which is based off of the script, maybe I'll have kind of a better feeling on this, but I don't know. I think I want to give Christophe Gans a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt here. But I also may just be talking out of my ass. And Tanner would agree.
I will say, I hope if we ever do get that director's cut, I hope that in that version, when James kills Mary, it's playing Helena by My Chemical Romance. Just so long, good night.
I hope if we get that director's cut, The trailer comes for it, and then Jared Leto Joker says, "We live in a society."
Asshole. One
Isn't that right,
scene that,
James?
there is one scene of this, and I'm curious as to how Tim more or less feels about it, because I got Tanner's kind of feel of it, in that he just kind of shrugged it off. But one scene in this that I particularly found, like, it was definitely an addition, but to me it felt very in tune with just kind of the tone and feel of what Silent Hill is a franchise, and honestly, it would, like, if it had been put in the original game, it would have felt kind of in line with it. It's the basement of the hospital scene in this, where it's like he goes down with Maria, and Maria's telling him not to go into the basement, and he's walking down the hall of, like, all these portraits that he painted of Maria. Not Maria, Mary. And every step forward that he takes, a light turns on. And then whenever Maria steps into that light, the light turns off. And that's kind of where James starts to come to the realization that Maria is not real. How did you feel about that particular scene? Because I felt that was in spirit of the game, and it was a solid little addition.
I think it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, the whole story with just Mary and Maria, and just, you know, the makings of his mind, I think is just an interesting character thing in general. So yeah, that's like a neat kind of artistic way of showing that. Yeah.
You just think it's neat.
I just think it's neat.
There you go. I will say this, though. Admittedly, it's a little hand-holdy, but I do like the, for the most part, the addition of, like, it would zoom into Pyramid Head's, like, little crack in his armor to, like, reveal the eye that is of James, where I'm like, okay, it's not subtle, but you're making it for idiots, so they need their hand to be held.
All right, so
what
we need to do is have the 12 frame per second lightsaber fight on Dagobah between James and Pyramid Head.
What I will say about that, though, the one thing that I didn't like that was very hold the audience's hand, the Pyramid Head origin story, where he just, like, paints the fucking pyramid on the portrait of himself. That was a little much. Like the eye got the point across. We didn't need that guns. People aren't that stupid.
Well,
Tanner's that stupid. Love you, buddy. Love you, buddy. You look like you're rearing to say something, Tanner. Come on. You got anything to add?
Paddington 2.
Alright, in all honesty, that's something that's not Paddington 2. Do you have anything to add? And it better not be Paddington 3!
The unbearable weight of massive talent.
Paddington and Peru.
Fuck. I will say this. While I could technically justify the way that Maria looks in this, now that...
Maria!
So here's the thing about Maria. Part of the reason that she looks the way that she does to James is because, well, there's a lot of psychology stuff going on with that. But Maria does have an origin story. She works at the Heaven's Night. She is a stripper, which that honestly justifies the wig a little bit more, which it's a burlesque thing. Leave it alone. You didn't throw a fit when Natalie Portman fucking did it for her stripper role. Leave it alone. With that said, though, Heaven's Night is fucking different in this. So...
Yeah. It felt more like just like a bar and grill, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I'm just like, okay, have the look of the character.
Like, I'm gonna go to Heaven's Night and get myself a burger and fries.
Have the character there and have her look the way that she does, fine, but, like, honestly, you probably could have gotten rid of Heaven's Night. Heaven's Night really did not need to be there. And I know, yeah, it's an important scene in the game, but you probably could have just cut it.
Yeah, you probably could have.
Yeah. Got anything else to add, Tanner?
Could have cut the whole movie.
Well, I assure
That's
you, editors
productive,
did
Tanner.
cut things in the movie.
That's productive? I don't think anything in this movie's productive. Hey-yo.
All right, Mr. Stand-Up. Bring up a point. Add to the conversation, motherfucker.
A isosceles triangle. There's some points for you.
I wish I had admin powers so I could just boot you from this.
You do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you should.
I don't.
Right-click on me. Right-click on me.
Don't
Right
make
click.
masking difficult.
Don't
for
actually do it. Don't actually do it, but right-click on you. You should see the option.
All right, I do. I'm not gonna
We all
do it.
do. Everyone in this, every member of Bomb Squad has that power.
Motherfucker. I ought to boot you from this.
Hold on, let me take it away from you real quick.
Oh, you son of... You brought it to my attention, now you gotta take it away! Tim, do you have anything to add?
It's pretty decent movie.
Talk that shit, King.
Man,
I don't know.
you really just didn't-
I think I got my main points out. Like, I think it's a step down from the first movie for sure. It's easily better than Revelation, but I still overall enjoy it, and knowing how limited its budget was, I think they did what they could with what they had.
Yeah, right. That kind of sounded like a final thought. Should we just get into final thoughts?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Tanner, final thoughts. Get it out, asshole.
Paddington 2.
All right, moving on. Tim, final thoughts.
Return to Silent Hill is... I don't think it's one of the worst video game movies ever made. It's...
Guys, have you seen Borderlands?
I haven't.
I have.
It's bad.
It's not a perfect adaptation, but I think it's still an interesting movie. It's at least worth a watch, and you know, maybe time will be kind to this. Who knows? We'll see in the years to come. Back to you, Joe.
All right, my time to shine. Okay, final thoughts. I couldn't hate this. I'm sorry, guys. I really enjoyed it, faults and all, and I will admit that it is faulty. There are things in it that do not work from an adaptation standpoint or from a movie standpoint. Some things you could have tweaked a little bit to make work. It's not perfect. Worst video game movie of all time, though. Are we just going to fucking ignore the fact that Uwe Boll has been making movies for fucking ever? Are we just gonna
allow Uwe Boll?
Are we just gonna allow that asshole to win? I don't fucking think so. You guys are fucking crazy in that regard. Like, you can like the movie or not like the movie all you fucking want. But to say that it's worse than a fucking Uwe Boll movie? Come the fuck on!
Nobody's seen those movies.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen any of the Uwe Boll video game movies from start to finish. I've maybe seen
I think I've seen the entirety of the Far Cry movie, which, yes, he directed a Far Cry movie before Far Cry 2 came out even, so.
I think I might have seen a little bit of Alone in the Dark, maybe a little bit of Blood Rain.
I've unfortunately seen all of Blood Rain. I had the biggest crush on I had the biggest crush on Kristana Loken, and I was like, I'll watch it for her. That was a mistake. Michael Madsen's very funny in that movie, though, and not intentionally. Rest in peace, Michael Madsen. But Return to Silent Hill, flawed as it may be, I enjoyed it. Seeing that end Mothmary sequence in the Big Show on that fucking screen, and that music, we neglected the Akira Yamaoka score, which I don't think it needs to be mentioned because, well, let's be real, that is the best part, really, of any of these fucking Silent Hill movies, is it's Akira Yamaoka still doing the score. He always knocks it out of the park with the score, but, like, hearing that, like, score for that sequence titled Mothmary, just kind of the emotional core of that scene, and just, like, blown up on the Big Show screen at the Alamo Drafthouse, which I watched it in. You know, as a Silent Hill fan, yeah, I fucking liked that. It got to me. It's a very effective scene, and I think it's a pretty fun movie, and even with all of its faults. But you want to know who else I really like, faults and all?
Who's that?
Not Tanner, but you! The person who's watching / listening to this video. Thank you all so very much for watching. How about you mosey on down to the comment section and let us know, what did you think of Return to Silent Hill? Are you a Silent Hill fan? What's your favorite movie that you like that everybody else hates? What are your thoughts on the beard? Comment below. I'm pretty sure we know. Comment below, let us know. But while you're down there, hit that like button so we know how much you like us. Hit that subscribe button so we know how much you love us. And hit the bell icon so you can get updates on our latest videos when we upload shit. Check us out on Twitch. Check us out on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you can listen to your podcasts.
BombSquadProductions.shop. We got merch.
We got merch. BombSquadProductions.merch. We forgot to plug that last time. We got shirts. We got posters. We don't have pants yet, but when we do, we will have the big announcement. We got pants now. Fucking Digimon the movie. Go there. 35mm keepsakes. That's my Etsy shop. If you want to support me directly. 35mm keepsakes. There I sell keychains with little 35mm film cells inside of the keychains. The perfect gift for any cinephile that loves 35mm film. Check me out there. I've got some fun stuff. I need to update that page a little bit more. But if you want to support me in my endeavors, go there. Patreon. Tanner, I'm going to let you take care of the Patreon this time.
The $5 tier gets you access to commentary tracks, and the $10 tier gets you access to shoutouts. So very special thanks to my mom, Tanya Kraft.
There we go. Thank you. We need to get on that Snakes on a Plane commentary track soon.
Any day now.
Any day now. But Snakes on a Plane. Stay tuned, I guess. Tune in next week, speaking of.
We are talking about the newest Sam Raimi movie, Send Help. Should be a lot of fun.
Should be a lot of fun. We love Sam Raimi on this. The channel favorite director at this point. I think we've covered more movies of his than any other director.
So.
Hell yeah. We're gonna have a lot of fun talking about Send Help next week. Send all your views to this video. Send all your views to that video. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Insert metallic screams here. There we go. Bye.
Mary? Mary?
Mary?
Mary?
Maria!
Paddington 2.